Yes, that was good.
Well, jazz has been around since the late 19th century and has been a popular style of music all over the world since then. And today happens to be International Jazz Day.
You may not know, but the greater Portland area has a radio station that plays jazz and funk and soul only. Joining us to talk about this iconic brand of music and the station is Dennis Ross, who is the founder, owner, and operator of WJZP Radio, which is 107.9 on your radio dial. And also joining us is Paul Capitanos, who is involved with the radio station as well. Thanks for coming in.
Yes.
Yeah, first of all,
thanks for having us.
What is it about jazz that makes it so unique, and why do both of you guys like it and appreciate it so much?
Wow. How can you not appreciate it, though, in the sense as to where everything was derived from jazz? And yes, we're a jazz station, primarily a jazz station, but in order to attract more people to the listenership is to where we do jazz, funk, R&B, gospel on Sunday, classical jazz, the old greats on Sundays as well too. So you know, we try to incorporate all the genres.
Yeah. What do you love about jazz?
What I love about jazz, it's part of the American songbook. It's a big part of our history, our country, which we all love. The jazz, it spawned off into so many other categories. And what I love about the station that we have is the categories that we just talked about: funk, soul, R&B, and it was the jazz that got us the great songbook that went into modern jazz as well. So it's been around since 1920s if you look at all the legends of it, Duke Ellington, etc. And so the history of it all, and what I love about our station is it preserves the history. And it also, if you listen to it throughout the course of it, like Dennis said, which we wanted to mention also, Motown is at lunchtime. There's all kinds of classic music on the station. So the songbook spawned off into a station that I think is a brilliant station that Dennis has created. There's a lot of classic songs on there that you would recognize. And so that's what I love about it. We cover everything, and it's all the music is, to me, is classic. And there's something in it for everybody who has an appreciation for soul, rhythm, and blues. That was all born in 1960 area, on the Billboard charts anyway.
Yeah. Why was it so important to have a day just for jazz, International Jazz Day?
Well, it's important because jazz, it resonates with most people, with everybody. So, you know, it's important to have that so that the community can enjoy it. You know, we're a community station, and so we have to find things that appeal to the community. And jazz, funk, R&B appeals to the masses. And for me personally, it's fun. You know, I actually really enjoy doing what I do, you know, so, yeah.
Tell us what you brought here with you today, some classics, right?
Of course, Ray Charles. You can't have jazz without Ray Charles. And then I bought some other things too, you know, in terms of going a little beyond, you know, the jazz, but all in the same vein. I bought some Chic, Stevie Wonder, and yeah, I don't think you can have jazz without those guys.
Yeah, you brought in Chuck Mangione too, but some of your favorites that you want to talk about is, I know you love Al Jarreau. Let's talk about what you like about Al Jarreau. I love the soprano sax. That's what I like.
We both love Al Jarreau. You know, I love his spoken voice, though, his spoken word, in terms of he's a poet as well too, and his work is poetry, and I enjoy the poetry, you know, with his scatting and the whole bit. That's why I love Al Jarreau.
What about you?
I love Al Jarreau from the spiritual standpoint. The song Morning, when he talks about the face of God, I think it resonates with me. Everyone's got their own reasons, but he's a very uplifting person. And if you look at some of the clips available to look at it, his concerts are very spiritual, and the music flows right through my heart. So and that's what the beautiful thing about music is. I think it touches everybody, creates good memories of your life, moments when you remember when you heard something, good moments in your life. And that's what this station's all about, is the fun parts. So I think a lot of the listeners, they like the idea that, gee, I remember back then when I was. So there's a lot of back in the day replay type stuff on there. That,
and of course, we got to talk about the godfather of soul too, James Brown.
Oh, God, I love James Brown. Excuse me. The thing with the station and James Brown is because in the programming there is a little bit of a science. Well, there's a science to it. So the thought process behind it is morning drive, which James Brown, we play a lot of James Brown during morning drive, the drive time to work, upbeat, up tempo to get you through your day. And then as we go into the rest of the day, we do Motown at lunchtime, and then the Al Jarreau during midday to keep you in your office and listening to it on your computer, you know, just the smooth sounds of jazz so that you continue to work as well at work. So there is a little bit of a science to it, and I'm still trying to figure out the science, but.
Yeah, strategy, I love that. And it shows the variety, you know, when it comes to tempos and
Yes.
you know, instruments and all of that.
Yes,
Very cool.
Yeah, let's talk about the big band era, how important, you talk about Duke Ellington, and also, I mean, Glenn Miller. My dad played in a jazz band growing up. I grew up listening to Glenn Miller.
Glenn Miller was legendary, wasn't he? Believe it or not, when I was a kid, Glenn Miller came to Scarborough Downs. I'm aging myself right now, but I don't mind. It was at Scarborough Downs that he came here, and Glenn Miller used to play with, back in the day, they would come around and some of the great guys like Frank Sinatra, et cetera, would be with him and so forth. But that big band era and swing and so forth was the start of all the great dancing that we've experienced through history, from all the eras that dancing has changed. But the swing era started that out, and Al Hurt, Glenn Miller, and all that group of, along at that time, along came Quincy Jones, who just passed away, as a legend in this whole thing. I don't want to go without mentioning all what he contributed to music, and across everything. He covered from Frank Sinatra, he scanned the globe to Michael Jackson. And that's what I like about our station. I feel like we go from A to Z on that whole thing. And you can catch all that on JZP. Not to be a walking billboard, but a station excites me. I'm here mostly as a fan, and I work with Dennis, with buddies, and what I do is, along with what a lot of the people love about the station that work behind the scenes, they all love the various types of music, and so you'll hear from a different person that wants to contribute towards a beautiful cause, that a fun, uplifting radio station for everybody, and I'm very proud of what Dennis has built. Very proud to be his buddy. We've had a good time doing it. Sometimes I give the music on certain segments. My segment happens to be the funk session, so I give a lot of. I work and collaborate with Dennis on that part, and I've enjoyed it all the way. So I just wanted. I'm not here for enthusiasm.
How about keeping the kids playing and having more blues and jazz clubs around the area? You know, I got a chance to tour Europe in my high school jazz band in 1978, and I got to play jazz in junior high school, and college, but keeping the kids playing too.
He's right. You're just tremendously right about that. The music, keeping the kids engaged, and I'm hoping the opportunity that they gain from this, what you just said, Jeff, is the key. Is that if the children can take a liking to this music is good for them. You know, there was that music portion in our country when they were talking about how much music, and I still probably think it's out there, how much music encourages the children to be, it helps them work with other subjects in school, and they, as you know, as a nation, where they work on that on a regular basis. So I'm proud to say, I think that you're right. Look at the impact it had on you. You know, but anyway, I'm sorry.
And it's therapeutic, you know, music. And I wanted to mention this, is that the late B.B. King did his last performance here at Murrow Auditorium before he passed away. So his last performance was here.
Wow.
The great B.B. King.
That's incredible. All right, remind everybody of your station and when you're on so they can tune in.
Okay, the station is WJZP 107.9 FM. It also can be streamed live anywhere in the world. And we're on 24/7. It's 24/7.
All right, there you have it.
Happy International Jazz Day.
Thank you. Thank you
so much.
Thanks.
Still